Today, I'll be playing the Double Evolution Global Tournament using the Evolve Firecracker and the Evolve Knight inside of this Hog deck here, and in my opinion, this will be one of the best decks for the tournament. Now, if you are struggling against air decks, you can use the Tesla instead of the Bomb Tower if you want, but I think the Bomb Tower overall is more consistent and a better defensive card than the Tesla. So in the last Double Evolution tournament, I used the Royal Recruits and the Evolve Archers, but both of them got nerfed, which is why I'm using the Evolve Firecracker and the Evolve Knight this time around. We're going to go for the Bomb Tower here, and also, guys, I think this tournament is incredibly important to play in practice because this is the second time they have done a Double Evolution tournament now, and in my opinion, that's a very good indicator that this is likely going to appear on ladder in the near future if they're doing this for a second time. And I'm going to be going all the way to 15 wins, so you guys are going to see multiple games, just tons of different matchups with this deck. So if you guys choose to use this deck, or if at any point you decide to, play the Double Evolution tournament where you have the Evolved Knight and the Evolved Firecracker in the same deck, you're going to have a good understanding of how those two cards combo together. So this guy does have the Evolved Skeletons, and this deck does quite good against the Evolved Skeletons because you have the Log, the Earthquake you could even use if you're kind of in a tricky situation. It could be used defensively against them. Essentially any deck, though, that has a small spell, you're usually going to be A-okay against the Evolved Skellies. I mean, the Earthquake you can obviously use against the Evolved Skeletons on offense if they use them against the Hog Rider, and then of course on defense you can just send in the Log to easily take them out. We're going to go for the Hog Rider. As you can see, we already have our Evo Knight ready to go, which is going to be super solid on defense if he decides to go in for a counter push off of the Hog. As expected, this is the very first game, so we're playing against a fairly off-meta deck, and he just missed the arrow, so massive mistake over there, and as expected, we get a King Cry, so yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a pretty easy game one. He has yet to drop a Evo, for that matter. He might go for the Evolved Skellies here, but I really don't think they're going to get all that much value because, like I said, we can just go for our Log and take them out nice and easy there. And I'm going to go for a Firecracker to predict something he drops. Let's just go for a Bomb Tower over here against his Hog. And yeah, here we go. Especially if there's a lot of people running Hog or Royal Hogs in this, the Bomb Tower is going to be very good against those as well. So the Bomb Tower just all around, like I've already stated, it's a consistent building in the vast majority of matchups. And then even if you're against a Balloon deck, the Bomb Tower isn't even that much worse against the Balloon. I mean, it's a little worse, but you can still outplay it, especially having the Evo Firecracker and all the pressure you have. You could pressure opposite lane and still end up winning if you play very well. So he's going to go for arrows. Let's just go for a Log. I don't know if the Earthquake does enough. I guess I'm just going to play it anyway. I might as well, and then I can just quickly get back to another Log, and that'll be a wrap. I could have sent in a Hog, to be fair, because it probably would have gotten hit, but guess it doesn't really make a difference anyway. So there we go. Game one. Nice and easy, but we still have 14 more wins to go. Alright, here we go. Let's get into the second game here. I do hope you guys end up enjoying this full walkthrough, because I know you guys really liked it when I did it last time to get a really good understanding of how to use the double Evo deck I was playing, and this is a completely different deck, which is exactly why I decided to do the exact same thing again in hopes that it would help you guys, learn this deck or these two Evos specifically, the combo of them together. And even if you decide not to use this deck, this video might still be helpful to you guys because you're just going to kind of get an understanding of how different things are when there's two Evos, because you have to keep track of your, Evo cycle partly, and then, of course, your opponent's, which is even more difficult to do when you have to keep track of both of those things at the same time, which is why a lot of people, because Evo's already made the game a bit more complicated, that's why a lot of people really don't like the idea of two Evos. So if they do end up having two Evos on ladder, I do think a lot of people are against that. But let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the whole concept of two evolutions and if it would be good or not. But yeah, I don't know. Most people were not huge fans of it from what I heard. And probably one of the primary factors is because, of course, it costs money for the evolutions, or, at the very least, it takes a very long time for you to actually get the shards you need as a free-to-play player, so it makes it quite tricky, that's the best way to put it, when there's 2 Evos you have to worry about instead of just 1 when there's balance changes on top of that too. But maybe it makes it interesting. Maybe there are some casuals even who enjoy the 2 Evos because it kind of changes up the gameplay, which a lot of people do look for as well. So either way, this is looking like another pretty easy win, but of course things are only going to get harder as we progress more in the tournament. And also, I'm only saying this because there were a lot of comments talking about it. I don't think I mentioned it yet in the video, but in the last few videos, you guys might have noticed the lighting looks different. I just adjusted the key lights. That's all I did. I know a lot of people were asking if I got a new camera. It's just an improvement in the lighting. I adjusted that, and I noticed it's definitely made the, the quality a lot cleaner. Just because there's, more light, essentially, and the more light, the better, and I think the key lights I had set up were not, as good. I just adjusted the brightness and that sort of thing, and that's kind of why there has been a difference, but from what I've seen, most people have said it has improved the camera quality, so I am happy to, hear the positive feedback over there, but I just thought I would address that. But anyway, we're going to get a easy win here as I expected, especially because the start we had, and another very off-meta deck because this guy's using some strange P.E.K.K.A deck over here, which just doesn't really have good synergy at all. And I think when there's 2 evolutions, it's even more important that the synergy of your deck actually makes sense, and you don't just want to have 2 Evos in the deck that don't make any sense having them together. So, for example, that would be potentially, I'm trying to think, but if you were to have maybe the Evolved Valkyrie and the Evolved Knight in the same deck, that wouldn't make any sense at all because, they're just kind of, they serve a similar purpose, and that'll become even more true as we get more Evos in the game. I suppose now there's a lot of different combinations you can do with them. So this guy does have the skeleton army. I guess we'll just cycle our firecracker, and then I might go for a log on... Now, let's actually go for a bomb tower here, and then get a knight down. I got that knight down just in time. I was actually worried the wizard was going to splash the bomb tower, which then would have meant it would have also splashed the firecracker because my firecracker was next to the bomb tower. So it looks like he doesn't get the king activated, which is of course nice because the longer it takes for them to activate the king tower off the firecracker, kind of the better, because when they have that king activated, it's so useful against the hog. I might just go... I kind of thought he was going to go for a skeleton army, but he actually might have not been back to it, in rotation, because I feel like he would have played it there. Maybe he just knew I had an earthquake as well, so he didn't want me to go for a prediction earthquake, but either way, he just took a ton of damage there. And I don't want to already say it's game, but it's looking like this should be another win in the books, hopefully. So I'm just going to go for an Ice Spirit here at the bridge, and he is going to go for his Wizard, which is not going to do very much. He didn't even end up activating the King Tower off of it, so that was kind of a complete fail. The Wizard is really bad. I would not recommend using that card. I actually think it does need a buff, even though I know some mid-ladder players hate it, and I hope you guys don't hate me for saying that. It really is bad, though, and I think even mid-ladder players who don't like it can agree it's not that good, and the only reason why it seems good is because there's just some people abusing it who have it at max level, but in reality, when it's a normal level compared to the cards you have, you're going to realize it's really not that good. So anyway, he's going to go for the mini pack at the bridge. Let's just go for goblins here. He's going to go for arrows. We're going to go for a Evo Knight and then go for our firecracker. He just wasted his arrows again, so the firecracker is of course going to be getting a lot of value. So we might as well go for the 2 crown, because inside of Royal Tournaments, especially if you're a competitive player and you want to get the global tournament emote or a badge, crowns are important for the tiebreaker. That's something to keep in mind. What I basically mean by that is the tiebreaker on crowns basically means when 2 people have the same amount of wins, whoever has more crowns is going to be a higher rank. And if you are competing for a reward, like I said, top 100 for the emote, or if you get top 1000, you get a badge on your profile. In any case, you are going to want to be mindful of going for the 2 crown when there is any opportunity to do so. Of course, getting the win is the most important thing, but after the win, it's the amount of crowns inside of tournaments. Whereas on ladder, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to say that because I think a lot of people may have not known that if they're new to playing tournaments, or they just, I don't know, maybe you know, you're not, but you just didn't know, and now, you know, recently you've been getting better and you want to end up going for a good finish. But either way, here we go. So far it's been so good. We can try to go undefeated, which is what happened in the last double evolution tournament. I ended up making it to 15-0 without any losses. Hopefully we could make that happen again. That would be really nice. But even if we end up getting a loss or two, I would still consider it, you know, a somewhat successful video. I mean, if we, you know, still get the 15 wins, which is the goal at the end of the day. I mean, even going 15-3 wouldn't be the end of the world. I wouldn't be too happy with it, but for my own standards, it wouldn't be, you know, too optimal. But this is my first run in the tournament, to be fair. So, you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but we're going to go goblins here. So he's got the Little Prince Miner. He's probably got Bomb Tower. He's using likely that meta deck that a lot of people are running. Well, never mind, because he's got the minions, so I actually don't even know. Yeah, I don't know, actually. Yeah, oh, never mind. I'm dumb. I know what this is now. I actually don't even know what I was saying, because he already used the mortar. I was just being pretty forgetful, actually. So we're just going to go for a firecracker here. He does get the mortar to lock on the tower, but I don't even think that's that bad, because the firecracker got 2 shots and ended up splashing the tower both times, so it was not bad at all. I'm going to go goblins, and if he uses the ability, I'll have my knight ready, but he didn't use it, which was smart on his end, because if he did use it there, I think that would have been an overcommitment with me having the knight in rotation. So we're going to go for a hog here. He likely is going to either go goblins or, okay, I was going to say goblins or mortar, but as a result of him doing that, the hog is going to get a shot, and now he also is going to be quite low on, okay, we got to be cautious here, though, about these minions. I just went for kind of a light distraction with the goblins over there. That was pretty solid, and he's going to go for the Evo Mortar. Let's get an Ice Spirit going so the mortar doesn't shoot anything important. Like, even the Firecracker, it wouldn't have been ideal if it were to shoot that, so I'm glad that it didn't. He is going to get the King activation, but at this point, we're looking pretty decent here, I would say. We are winning. We will maybe have to get a bomb tower down just because the recruits are a bit obnoxious, and we do just that. That was actually really decent defense over there. I'm really happy with how that worked out. That mortar, I might allow it to get 1 shot on my tower. It might stay locked on the knight, actually. Yeah, okay, I'm going to let it happen because I don't want to go too far down in elixir here. And yeah, this is actually decent because he also doesn't have his Evo recruits in cycle right now, so that was a really nice catch over there. We're just going to go for the Ice Spirit, and then, yeah, let's definitely go in for a hog here. This is going to be a pretty nice push. Maybe we even get an Earthquake going here. Yeah, nice. This should actually be GG right here with the Firecracker coming in on the back end especially. Yeah, there we go. Very nice win. I'm pretty happy with how I played that. Of course, we're still early on here, but I don't think that's a super easy matchup, just because he does have arrows for the Firecracker, and I feel like things like the Skeleton Dragons can be quite a challenge to deal with when you don't have something like a Fireball or Delivery, because in our case, our main spell is the Earthquake, so our only way of dealing with them is by distracting. So we're going to go Goblins over here, and unfortunately he decided to go for a Prediction Log. That's actually, I would say that's actually really unlucky, because most people don't just go hog and then go for a pre-log right out of the gate. So if we end up losing the game because of that, I'm going to be a little upset, because they're pretty much, you know, obviously not making any excuses because you guys saw it yourself. There pretty much was nothing I could have done there. Now, you might be thinking, well, why didn't I play the bomb tower? Because I could have gotten back to that. But, because I had it in cycle. But after already playing goblins and an Ice Spirit, it would have been a pretty massive overcommitment to go for a bomb tower. It just wouldn't have made sense. But luckily, this guy already made a couple mistakes, which is kind of indicating to me that he, you know, might not know how to defend in the mirror match that well, which of course is very good for me. The Tesla placements are not ideal on his end, and actually, in general, in this mirror match, actually, and nice, he didn't get the king activated. So in this mirror match, I was gonna say, in the bomb tower is better than the Tesla. I would actually say this is a favorable matchup for me, and if it weren't for the start, I would say for a fact I'd be pretty confident I would win this. But I think even with the start, because we were able to make a bit of a comeback, I'm kind of okay with the situation. Now, that was excuse me, a bad bomb tower on my end. So I'm going to try to focus up here so we can hopefully make a comeback, because I definitely screwed up a bit myself. I'm going to go for the Hog Rider here because we have the Knight down tanking, so it's kind of a good opportunity to do that. I didn't go for the Earthquake because I felt like it would have been a, just kind of like an overcommitment, because I wanted to get the King activated against the Firecracker as well, which you just saw. So I'm going to go for the Evo Cracker here, and then I'm going to go for a Hog. And now let's get an Earthquake going and see what we can do here. Yeah, nice. So once again, a bad Tesla on his end. Hopefully we are able to capitalize off of that. And sure enough, we do just that, and we get quite a lot of damage there. Now, I am going to have to, yeah, definitely go for a Bomb Tower here. And really good placement, so that way the Evo Firecracker doesn't get anywhere near our tower, which is exactly what we want. And just like that, we do end up taking the lead. Now we have, so once again, he keeps going in for bad Tesla placements. He's not playing it in the anti-EQ placement, which is what he would want to do for sure. So I didn't go for my Goblins there because I was pretty positive he was going to go for a Prediction Log. He didn't even do that, and okay, he just misclicked the Earthquake. So yeah, this is looking more and more like we're probably going to be able to win this match, despite us not having a very good start. And part of that, don't get me wrong, is definitely because of me having the bomb tower, but I also think he made quite a lot of mistakes as well, so we were able to punish him for that, which is great. So we're gonna get the, yeah, nice, that's gonna be GG. There we go. So yeah, the bomb tower is just more sturdy than the Tesla, so even when he does Earthquake it, especially with me having the King activated, it's very difficult for him to get a Hog through unless I misplay the bomb tower, which I did do that game, or at the start where I didn't have the proper cycle, but nonetheless, we're a third of the way now towards our goal of 15 wins, so let's try to keep going strong here. We have both the Knight and the Firecracker in our starting hand, which is pretty nice because it means we can potentially, in single elixir, get both of these Evos down. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Firecracker. I might as well. We're going to get a Law going on top of the Wall Breakers and the Archer, and he does have the arrows. Okay, so he might be using, like, some sort of Mega Knight deck. I guess we'll see, you know, if that is the... Okay, Recruits. So, Recruits, Wall Breakers. Yeah, it's not going to be Mega Knight then. I don't know what it is, though. He's going to have minions. Let's just get an Ice Spirit going, and, yeah, we should be completely fine. That Miner was a little... I don't know. That was very aggressive, especially the Miner. I don't know. He kind of just spent a lot there. Let's see if the Firecracker... Okay, it went in the other lane. I guess we'll go on the right, because we definitely need to get something in front of the Firecracker. I think... Okay, well, I was going to say that would have probably activated the King Tower, but he opted to go with arrows instead. I have my log ready. He might decide to go... If he goes for Wall Breakers in front, that would be a really big mistake, but it looks like he's just going to... Yeah, not play them, which is the right call for sure. So, alright, he's got, yeah, Evo Archers and Evo Recruits. I think we could probably manage. I mean, the minions are going to be a little annoying. He might also have a, well, I actually don't know, because he wouldn't have the Evo Mortar, since he already showed us 2 of his Evos. So, genuinely, I don't know, like, what his other cards are. He might have another spell, potentially, but I don't really know. Like, we're just going to kind of have to see at this point. He's going to go for the Miner, but, we actually need to get a bomb tower here. We need to pool everything to the middle so the Evo Cracker can help out. And yeah, that was actually really solid defense. I'm pretty happy with how that worked out. So he went for the Evo Archers there, and he arrowed. He's going to get the King activated, but honestly, I'm fine with that because at this point, we've already dealt so much damage to the point where I feel like we're in a pretty comfortable position. I'm going to protect the... Yeah, we're actually going to go in here really aggressively because his arrows aren't in cycle. And then I'm going to go for a log as well. He actually does have a Mega Knight. That's quite surprising. I didn't think he did with him having the... It really goes to show sometimes you can just... You can't really ever tell sometimes. But yeah, I was not expecting that. And then he also has the bats as well. So just overall a very... interesting deck for sure. We are kind of having a problem here though defending. I think we're okay, but yeah, that was a little... bit stressful. Let's get a Knight going here. and kind of see what he wants to do. Um, I don't know. Not too happy with that, not gonna lie. I maybe should have just gone in for a hog, but honestly, like, I didn't know if it was gonna get through the Evo recruits, but I probably should have just done it and went with, like, a log and just kind of risked it. But it's kind of like coulda, woulda, shoulda, because it's like if I did that and the hog didn't get a hit, and then if I didn't defend, then I don't know. Then I would have been like, well, I should have defended, but I don't know. I definitely could have played that out better. That's kind of the best way to put it. At least that balloon didn't get a shot. I'm definitely going to hog here. I don't think it's too aggressive. It's what's the most unfortunate thing out of everything is the fact he had the Mega Knight. Because I genuinely didn't think he had it. At least we're going to get an easy win here because he just used all of his elixir. But yeah, I'm honestly really disappointed with that loss because I think like I could have won, especially with the situation I was in. I kind of with the hog overcommitted a bit because I didn't know he had a Mega Knight when I sent in the goblins and everything with it, and he just went Mega Knight on top. If I knew he had the Mega Knight, I wouldn't have bothered going goblins. That was kind of the thing that cost me, I think, but it's alright. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like early on, it's an off-meta deck and you don't really know, but it's still pretty disappointing, like losing, especially before 10 wins, for me at least, but as long as we get to 15, it's probably not really that big of a deal, even if we end up having 2 or 3 losses. Anyway, let's see here. This game's going quite well. I think him not having arrows really helps us out a lot. You know, his spell, Snowball and Freeze, those aren't really doing much for him. So it kind of shows you even when you're against a balloon deck, depending on the spells they have, you can often be completely fine. I feel like if you're against Lava Loon arrows, that's going to be a bit of a problem. But this type of balloon deck is really no issue. Alright, so he goes for the Evo recruits. We should be alright defending these. I'm probably going to pre-place a bomb tower. I think it's completely fine in double, because we're going to be able to get back to another really quickly. There we go. We're going to log that, and yeah, I think we're chilling here. I don't know if the Evo Firecracker is going to stay alive. It actually does. Yeah, that's really good. Well, at least we bounced back really quick, even though we did get that loss. I'm kind of glad this game is going really well. So we're just going to go for a knight here, and then we'll get a log going, and yeah, we're completely fine. Only 20 seconds to go. Just get a bomb tower going here, then just Ice Spirit, and then send in a hog. And, like, even if he gets the tower, we would get the 2 crown anyway here, so yeah, I actually think that's going to be the case. I'm just going to commit to getting a 2 crown, and if he gets the tower, it doesn't really matter anyway. So, that's going to be GG. Nice, quick win over there after the devastating loss. I'm still not over it yet, not gonna lie. I probably won't really be over it, to be fair, until I get to 10 wins. I really, at this point, want to get to 10 wins without dropping another game. That's kind of where my head is at right now. Because if I get 2 losses, if I have 2 losses before 10, that's really brutal for me. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so he's going to split the Skeleton Dragons. I think we'll just go for our Firecracker and just get an Ice Spirit going. Why not? Recruit. So a lot of people are running kind of the same decks, it seems like. It seems like these recruit decks are pretty popular with the arrows from the looks of things anyway. So it's a matchup I'm going to have to get decent at, that's for sure. And I guess for you guys, too, want to use this hog deck. So we're going to go for the knight here. And, yeah, I guess we are kind of chilling. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play our Firecracker. Ooh, Evo Knight and Recruits in the same deck is a strange combo, to say the least. I'm going to just Earthquake this. I think it's a pretty decent play. Wow, a Bowler. He just spent a lot, because he just went, yeah, for a ton of stuff, kind of back-to-back. Like, he went Knight, Bowler, Magic Archer. So, I think we're definitely going to go Hog here. And then from there, we can kind of see what he does. He's gonna go for the bomb tower. I'm gonna get an earthquake down. I might as well. And I was thinking about going Evo Firecracker, but I'm gonna hold off. I think we can wait. There's really, like, no rush to play it. We can just play her on defense and then go for the Ice Spirit, and yeah, we're gonna be fine here. And then I'll just go for a Knight in front to tank, and we should be completely chilling. He'll probably go for a Bowler or something, but he won't be able to, he's gonna have to play it in a weird spot, because he doesn't want the Evo Firecracker on the tower, obviously. Oh, he actually goes, okay, so he didn't even go for the Bowler like I was anticipating. We'll just log the shield off those, and if one of those connects, it's kind of not that big of a deal. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Evo recruits are actually kind of broken. I kind of lost the last game because of them as well. You cannot underestimate those things. I thought they were maybe not that good anymore after their nerf, but boy, was I wrong. I mean, holy cow. It looks like the Evo recruits are really busted still. I really don't want to lose to this guy because he doesn't even really have a win condition, actually. I'm going to do this, and I'm scared he's going to go for, like, a magic archer or something. That's kind of my main concern right now. He's probably going to bomb tower if he can. Nah, he can't. Okay. I thought he was going to magic archer. That's why I played the Ice Spear of the Goblins. Okay, wow. Yeah, he kind of choked. I'm not going to lie. In the situation he was in, he probably should have won that. But to be fair, I got lucky because I played that really bad. I don't know what's gotten into me recently, but I'm having a hard time defending evolved recruits, which shouldn't be too difficult to do when I have the bomb tower. I think the main thing I have to remember is I need to just be saving my bomb tower for the Evo recruits and not really using it on other things if all possible. So this guy is going to have the Firecracker. I'm going to log, and then I could potentially go for an Earthquake. I think I'm actually just going to do it because, I don't know, I don't really want the Firecracker staying on the map and just being kind of obnoxious. So he's going to go Ghost. That was pretty interesting, that sequence there. He kind of just went Bats and then Ghost immediately. He's going to get the King activation, but not before the Hog gets loads of damage on the tower. That was a lot of damage the Hog got. I would say, like, anything more than, like, 500 damage, even if they get the King activation, it's usually going to be worth it on your end that you got that damage. Because it's like, the Hog is so quick. It's not like something else, like another ground card, where when they have the King activated, it's more, I don't know. That's why the Hog is just so good, and a lot of people debatably think it needs a nerf, because you can get around King activations with Hog. But with other ground win conditions, it's harder. Dang, this guy missed the arrows, too. I might just go Hog. Why not? Because the Firecracker's still alive, so... Okay, Mega Knight. I am gonna... You know what? I don't need to go for my bomb tower. I can just go for the Goblins and the Knight, and that's gonna be completely fine, because the Knight's evolved. Yeah, I kind of learned my lesson from the Evo Recruits game. I'm not gonna use my bomb tower unless I need to, because this guy, I don't know what his win condition is. I would assume he has one, but he hasn't played one yet. But from his deck, it kind of seems like it would be like a Hog or something, or Royal Hogs, but I really don't even know. It's possible he doesn't even have one, but that would be a little weird. So I don't know. I just don't know if he's used every card yet, or if there's a card he hasn't played. So he is going to go for the Mega Knight. Let's just go for a Bomb Tower here, and let's get the... Alright, these Evo Bats are going to be a really big issue. Potentially. Wait, did he just miss the arrows again? I think he might have actually literally missed the arrows again, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how he missed them twice. Okay, so we kind of lucked out there. To be fair, though, even if he didn't miss the arrows, I don't know if it would have been, like, anything massive. It just would have... We would have taken damage, I can tell you that. We would have taken, you know, a whole lot more damage than... Yeah, I literally don't know. Like, he doesn't have a win condition, like, because he doesn't even have a minor either. So this is just kind of a weird deck by him, I have to say. I could have gone for the Evo Cracker high up, but it's alright. Like, at this point, we can kind of just chill, I think, and, like, we should be fine. We just log this here. He's gonna go for the arrows. Let's just get Goblins down, and go for the Firecracker. His deck is really annoying. Like, it's not that good, but it's just really annoying. I kind of just want this match to be over. I really just want this game to be over, but there we go. There we go. I got the hog hit in. Now all I got to do at this point is just cycle back to another Earthquake, and then we're in the clear. That's probably what I should have done the Evo Recruit game, to be fair. Had I done that, I actually think we probably would have won. There we go. So that's going to be GG. Yeah, that loss I got, I should have done that, but, you know, you can't go back in time now, so here we go. We are at 8 wins now, though. We're over the halfway point now, which is nice. We are over the halfway point, so that's pretty promising, I would say. We're against Angry Birds here. We're just going to go for an Ice Spirit at the bridge, and he's going to go for his Knight, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. So he's got the Evo Knight. That could be a lot of different things, to be fair. Like, it doesn't really mean much. That's a good sign that he's got the Elixir Collector, though, because Earthquake is just a direct counter to that. I would actually go as far as to saying, guys, when you have Earthquake in your deck, and you're against Elixir Collector, pretty much every single time that's the case, it's going to be a good matchup for you. There's very few exceptions to that. I would say that's usually the case, like, 90% of the time, because the Elixir Collector oftentimes is what makes the deck that has Elixir Collector in it good. Like, if you're running a Golem deck with Elixir Collector or E-Giant or something just kind of spammy, if you're against an Earthquake deck or just any deck that does typically decent against Collector, you know, you're usually going to have a really hard time, so that's probably the best way to explain it. He's just not really ever going to be able to use the Collector the whole match. It's just a dead card, which makes his cycle kind of rough. The difference is, though, is I'm able to use my Earthquake on things besides the Collector, and in a way it kind of baits him, because when he, you know, sees that I used my Earthquake, he's probably thinking like, oh, well, now it's a good time for me to Collector. But the problem is, if you see what just happened, because of him going in for the Collector and thinking that, look at the push I was able to do. So it's kind of bait in a way, and I can just go for the Earthquake now, even though I played it, yeah, and he literally is about to get 3-crowned, all because he went in for a Collector after I went for an Earthquake, and that was bait. As I was saying, whenever they do that, you can just punish them so easily, especially when you already have stuff on the map. You can just send in your Hog, and they won't be able to do anything. And now I don't even think he's back to his NATO, and yeah, the only way he would have been able to defend that is defensive pump, but he just went fire. So yeah, there we go. It's just super easy, as I was saying. Like, any deck that has a Collector should be a free win when you have Earthquake. So that's now going to put us 1 away from 10 wins. Hopefully we are able, yeah, to at least get to 10 wins before dropping another game. But I still would like to ideally get to 15 wins, only losing 1 game max. That's still my goal, hopefully. Anyway, let's go for a Knight in the back, and it's looking like, oh wow, he's got, that is very, very weird. He has Hog Miner in the same deck, and I actually misplayed that. I meant to play a, I meant to play my Ice Spirit, not the Firecracker, but I think it ended up being okay, because he went for, I'm going to go for a Log here, because he's not going to be able to afford, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, after playing the Knight, because he just played a Firecracker, he wasn't going to be able to get down his Tesla, and sure enough, there we go, we get a Hog coming in that already took half of his tower, and we're off to a fantastic start here, especially because, like I already mentioned, the other Hog match, because I have a Bomb Tower and he has a Tesla, this is already quite a decent matchup for me, I would say. I'm going to get down the Ice Spirit just in case, because I really didn't want that Hog to get a shot. I didn't even need it, though, but yeah, it's okay. So he's going to go for the Firecracker. I'm going to go ahead and play mine, and then we're going to get a Hog down here, and then I feel like he's going to have a rough time, because even if he goes for a Tesla, the Knight's tanking, Firecracker's coming in, and just like that, that's going to probably be tower down, and most likely GG as well, unless something crazy happens. So, pretty easy win for the 10th win here, from the looks of it, anyway. Hopefully I don't jinx it and, like, lose connection or something crazy like that. That would be pretty tragic. But let's just cycle our Evo Knight here, and then we have our Bomb Tower ready for his Hog if he does choose to go in for that. He tries to juke us out a bit, sends in the hog in the other lane. Kind of a desperation push, I feel like. We're just going to do the Ice Spirit to hold the hog at bay. And honestly, like, if that hog gets a couple shots in, it doesn't really even matter that much because he already dealt damage in the other lane, so... Let's see if he decides to... Okay, he's going to go for the Evo Firecracker. I'm just going to Earthquake her, and then the log will be able to finish her off. We're going to go for a Bomb Tower here. And, yeah, let's just get a log going on the Evo Firecracker. Hopefully she doesn't dodge it somehow. Yeah, and we're kind of chilling here. I wouldn't recommend using Hog Miner in the same deck. That's kind of one of the only things that Miner doesn't pair well in. Yeah, I would actually say Hog Miner is debatably the worst combination of, like, Wink. Like, it's one of the only things that you don't want to have a Miner in, basically. I mean, even Miner Ram Rider I've seen a few times, but I feel like Miner with the Royal Hogs or the Hog is kind of one of the worst things you could pair the Miner with. But either way, or Graveyard, I mean, I guess there's a few things, but you get the idea. So we're 10-1 now. We're 5 wins away now from reaching our goal. This guy has a 240 Royal Tournament finish, so we are against a good player here, which I guess isn't too surprising considering the fact that first day of the Royal Tournament, there are quite a lot of good players. That's why if you want a good finish, it's best to wait till the very end, because at the end, you know, most of the good players will have already played, or at least be further along inside of the tournament. And a lot of top players, you would be surprised, don't have multiple accounts. Some do, but a lot of them don't, and they just have like one account and they start playing early on. But anyway, let's just go for a knight here in front of the Firecracker. He might, yeah, try to get the... Oh, he's using lava. Okay, this is a very... So far, a very interesting lava deck. He has the Evo Bats. Let's see if he does have arrows. Yeah, he does. I'm going to just go Bomb Tower here to tank for that lava. Hopefully, that is the right play. Now, if he has a balloon, that's where things are going to be a bit of a problem here. Yeah, and he actually does. So, let's see what we can do here. The balloon is going to get a couple shots. I mean, it's not the end of the world, I suppose, but, yeah, this matchup is not optimal, especially because he has arrows. He has arrows, yeah, this is going to be hard. So I was saying Lava Loon arrows is, well, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but yeah, this is, you know, pretty bad matchup, and especially considering he has a good tournament finish. This is not, you know, I'm not really feeling too good about this game at all. This is probably going to be a second loss, realistically, especially with the start I had that certainly didn't help us either, unfortunately. So it's a little brutal, I can't lie. We're just going to get a Bomb Tower down here, I guess, and then we're going to log this, go for a Ice Spirit, and yeah, let's see what we can do, I guess. I'm going to go for a Evo Knight, and then let's get a Firecracker down, and then go in for a Hog. And let's kind of see what happens over here. So he is going to go for the Evo Bats. Hopefully the Firecracker can deal with them, I would hope anyway. He does Arrow. It might give us an opportunity to use the Evo Cracker, hopefully. I guess we'll see. I don't know, because the stupid Evo Bat. Damn bats, man. Too many bats. Yeah, that's gonna be game. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal matchup. I kind of was hoping I wouldn't run into that. Especially a fairly good player too. I mean, I'm not saying he's like outstanding, but you know, anyone that has a top 1,000 Royal Tournament finish is gonna, you know, be a well above average player. And if they have a pretty favorable matchup on top of that, it makes things pretty difficult, especially with a bad start. So we are going to have a couple losses now, which is not something I'm too happy about. So now at this point, I just want to just get to the 15 wins as soon as possible at this point. Anyway, let's just go for the Goblins here on top of the Royal Hogs. So this guy, the Evo Bats, the other thing I'm noticing too is the Evo Bats are a little challenging for this deck as well. Because you do have to, you know, basically you're only going to have your Firecracker as a way of dealing with those, which can be a bit of a problem. So he's got the Little Prince. I guess I'm just going to go Firecracker, same lane. This matchup should be completely fine, though, because I Bomb Tower for the Royal Hogs. I was actually a bit surprised we didn't run into anyone running the Royal Hogs earlier on, especially because that really good Royal Hog deck with the Archer Queen, or you could use it with Little Prince, has the Evo Skellies and the Evo Ice Spirit. But I guess since the Evo Ice Spirit isn't that good, that might be why people are choosing not to play that deck. But anyway, the Bomb Tower is going to clean up those pigs really nicely. And I guess I'll probably just go in for a Hog pretty soon. I'm going to guess he has a delivery. I'm going to go in for the Hog. I could go for an Earthquake, predicting the... Yeah, I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, that was perfect. He waited to play the cannon. He was predicting that I was going to Earthquake early, but I ended up waiting, and that paid off. That was really nice. We both kind of predicted each other in a way. I was thinking he might try to defend it without using the cannon because I was like, well, he knows I have my Earthquake in cycle, but that ended up working out for us really, really well, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're just going to go for a log here on this Little Prince, and then we're going to get a Bomb Tower going. Now, these Evo Bats are going to be a pain, but yeah, we're okay. That was stressful, but we're fine. I was really scared about the Evo Skellies. I ended up overcommitting a ton on them, but we're a-okay. I kind of had to stop speaking, though, for a second, just because of how worried I was. We're going to send in the Hog here, go for an Earthquake. He likely is going to, yeah, play his cannon. I figured he was going to play it right away this time around. He's going to go for the delivery, not before the Hog gets a shot, though. Evo Cracker gets some chip damage as well, and yeah, this is going to be game. Firecracker should just take it there. Also takes out the Little Prince. So this is a solid matchup. I mean, the Evo Bats certainly made things a little stressful, but ultimately it wasn't really that bad at all. Yeah, I almost wonder, like, if everyone's running Evo Bats, that's a little annoying for this deck. And they do seem to be a more common Evo than I thought they would be played inside of this tournament. Seem to be very, very popular. But we've been seeing a whole bunch of them, to be fair. The Evo Recruits, Evo Bats, kind of a lot of them. Evo Valk can't be played in this, by the way, in case you guys are wondering why I haven't played against anyone running it. That's kind of the exact reason for that. So I have the Evolve Firecracker and the Evo Knight in my starting hand. I think we'll just start for the Evo Knight and then quickly follow up with the Evo Firecracker. And then from there, kind of see how he wants to do things. He's going to have the Firecracker as well, and a Poison, so it's not going to be a mirror match, but it's probably something, you know, cycly. It could be like minor Poison, or, I don't know, probably minor Poison, if I had to guess. I'm just going to go for a Hog here, and we'll see if he has a building. He's going to have a Lumberjack, actually, so I really don't know what this is. Lumberjack Poison, it is going to be a balloon deck, okay. So we'll get our Bomb Tower going here, and maybe I might go for an Ice Spirit, just in case, and that's actually going to prevent the balloon from getting death damage as well, I think. Yeah, it does, so that was probably worth it. He's going to Barb Barrel. I thought maybe he was going to get the King activated, but he decides to do that. So, alright, Firecracker comes in. I actually, though, really need a King activation. It's very important in this matchup against Balloon, so I'm really glad that he basically gave me basically a free King activation, and that might be what wins me this game. Truthfully, if I didn't get that King activation, well, I'll tell you, it would have made things significantly harder, especially if he played multiple balloons before I ended up getting the activation. So I'm going to go Bomb Tower here. That's going to be easily defended. I don't even need to do anything else. Like, I don't need to go for an Ice Spirit or anything, because the Evo Cracker just deals so much damage. He's going to go Barb Barrel. I'm going to be able to... He didn't even hit the... Yeah, that's going to be game. He just messed up really badly. I mean, even though the Evo Knight went down and he has that... Because the Firecracker's still alive behind, it's just so much... Like it's... You know, he can't stop it. It's just too annoying. And there we go, just like that. I feel like the spells make all the difference. Like, when you're against a balloon deck that has arrows, that's when things are just really annoying. But when they're using Snowball or poison, it just doesn't really matter that much because your firecrackers are just going to be able to stay alive. And I feel like any card besides arrows honestly doesn't even do that good against the firecracker because it's just that's the only one where it's an even trade. I mean, everything else, every other spell either doesn't take it out or you have to overcommit. And especially if you're not in triple, having to constantly go for fireballs or poisons on the firecracker, and then because you have a fast cycle with the firecracker, you're going to be able to get back to another one. That's where problems start to arise, which you've really been noticing. Like, pretty much every game, besides when we play against arrows, of course, has just kind of been a piece of cake, you know, majority of the time. So you could say, like, even though Hog in this deck is a very consistent deck, I mean, it's a challenge when you run into arrows, and you definitely have to do some outplays. And obviously, I'm no Ian 77, so, you know, when I'm against arrow decks and they have a pretty good matchup, you know, it's pretty common you're gonna lose those, and that's just how it is sometimes. So we're just gonna go for a Hog here, and he's gonna have a bandit. I'm gonna get a bomb tower going. I really do want to get a king activation here, though. It's just so, yeah, nice. It's just pretty much any time someone has Firecracker, the king activation is so important. So I'm glad we got that, especially in this type of matchup. I can already tell with him having Bandit and Skeleton Barrel, king activation is going to be super nice to have because it's going to allow me to ignore more things, and just so many interactions are going to be better as a result of it. So he's going to have the Evolved Archers as one of his Evos and the Evolved Firecracker. That's actually quite interesting that he has. I feel like that's a combination that doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion at least, having the... Oh, wow, he just really screwed up. I also checked this guy had good badges as well. I don't recall all of them, but I did see he had a global tournament badge and some others, if I remember correctly. So the Hog is going to end up getting a shot on the tower, and then the Firecracker also ended up getting some chip damage as well. So this match has just so far been very good. I really don't understand his deck. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. You know, Battle Ram Skeleton Barrel, very interesting, I have to say. Like, it's definitely unique. And then he's got a poison. Wow, I was not expecting him to have a poison. To be fair, though, I don't know what spell I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't that. And to be fair, if he had arrows, he probably would have used them by now. I'm just going to send in the Hog Rider, because we have the Evo Knight tanking, and he's going to go for the Archers. Oh, he's got a Mega Knight. I mean, I suppose that makes sense with the Battle Ram, but overall, this is just a pretty wacky deck. We're going to get a Bomb Tower down here to tank for everything, and then with the Evolved Firecracker, this should be a pretty nice and easy defense, if I have to say. I'm just going to, yeah, tank for the Mega Knight. I might as well not have it hit the Bomb Tower. And then we can just go in for a Hog, because he's not even back yet to his Mega Knight. And then we'll go for the Earthquake on the Firecracker, so that way she is in log range. And then we'll just go for a Bomb Tower like this. I can just go log on the... Yeah, that doesn't really... It doesn't even really matter that the Bandit connected. You know, both towers are around the same, so we kind of split up his damage, which is nice. We Earthquake that, go for Goblins here, and then just get a log going on top of the Battle Ram and the Lumberjack, and we should be chilling here. That was a really easy matchup. I think part of it, though, was because his deck wasn't really that good. But props to him for making it work. I'd say even getting to, like, 12 wins with that deck is, you know, pretty... Like, you definitely have to play the deck well, which shows because he has some... You know, he had some good badges, so he definitely knows what he's doing with that deck, that's for sure. So that's going to put us at 13. We just need 2 more, though, now to get the 15. Hopefully we are able to get to the 15 and be 15-2, so at least we end on a pretty good note. I think I'm just going to start with a Hog. We might as well. He's going to go for the Evo Archers. Yeah, I noticed that Evolved Archers especially are just so much worse after the nerf. I really just think they aren't the same anymore. We're gonna go, because they've gotten 2 nerfs now. We're gonna go for the Firecracker and then Bomb Tower Evo Archers. It's kind of making me think like he might have Balloon. I guess we'll see. Balloon could be hard, especially if he is using... But what I'm gonna do is he doesn't have his Bomb Tower in cycle, so I'm gonna go Knight Hog here, and it might be a little annoying for him. He's gonna go Knight. Yeah, that was really good stuff over there. We outcycled his Bomb Tower, like I was saying, because I went for Hog first play, and Bomb Tower was his second card he played. This is going to be a hard matchup, though, so we're going to have to play this pretty well. I'm going to go Knight here, and I'd actually say the main thing is we get out a single without him getting many balloons down, because I feel like balloons are really challenging to defend in singles sometimes. And then when you get in double, you can do things, you know, some nice tricks like cycling 2 bomb towers and stuff like that. So we'll just log that, and from there, see what he wants to do. He's going to Miner. We're going to go in for the Hog, and then I'm just going to go for an Ice Spirit, and he's going to do that. Okay. Okay, so let's try to do something here. He doesn't have his, so let's go Goblins and see if he overcommits on them, because they're only 2 Elixir. Yeah, he is going to go for the Knight. So let's go for our Evo Cracker, and then let's go for those. That was kind of a nice little prediction over there. The Evo Archers are going to get some value, though, still. Can I get a Hog down in front? That would be amazing if I can. Oh, I actually think, yeah, it is going to go in front. Nice! That forced arrows out of him, but look at that. Look at that Hog, how much damage that got. That was really good. That was kind of a nice little outplay there. Like, we kind of just really did a good job of knowing what he had. We predicted that he was going to go for something on the... Alright, let's see. We're going to go Bomb Tower here. This is where things are going to get challenging for sure. Oh, the fact that that came back to help out is so clutch. Oh my goodness. That saved me so hard. If that didn't happen, I would have been so screwed. But the fact that we had 2 Firecrackers coming in, that's where... See, that's what you can do. You can, like, outcycle the arrows, especially when you're in double. That's kind of the way you win this. So the Knight's coming in. The Hog is... Oh, wow. I was going to say it was going to get a shot, but he did go for the Snowball. But now, because he did that, we're really just... We're really putting the pressure on at this point. Oh, the Hog! Oh, that's brutal. I almost feel bad for him. Like, these Firecrackers are just so annoying, even with him having the arrows. I still think, though, it's a good matchup for him, but I just think we really got our cycle going, and it really just goes to show sometimes how, even when it's a hard matchup, this is why Hog is one of the most consistent decks in the game. Like, even when it's a tricky matchup, when you get in these cycles, you kind of play things... You kind of play your game, if that makes sense. Like, just take control of the match, and that's kind of exactly what happened. But it also helped that he definitely made, you know, a few mistakes, which helped us get in that good cycle. And now, just like that, we're 1 win away from the 15, which was my my goal of the video, which unlocks you all the rewards. I won't open them all, because you can't even open them all anyways until you get 5 losses, and I plan to try to get as many wins as I can. But yeah, we're 14-2 now, so this is our final game, assuming we do end up winning it. Hopefully we can win and get 15-2, which is not a bad record. I'm not saying 15-3 is bad. That's way above average, but just for my own standards, I'm maybe hard on myself sometimes in this game, so we're gonna... But maybe it'll make you guys feel better if I end up losing this game and going 15-3, because you'll guys see sometimes I have global tournament runs that are... Well, I wouldn't even say that's a bad run, but just worse than how I typically do. Because we're going to go for a Knight here on the... So him having a Fisherman, I have to say, is a little annoying. Because especially if he has... I will say, if he's got arrows, this is going to be a challenging matchup for sure. And he does, sadly. So this is going to be a bit of a toughie for sure. We're going to get a log going here. And I'm just going to have to go for an Ice Spirit on that little Prince. Alright, well, this is going to be a very tough matchup. Not really what I want to see. Arrows, Fisherman. And then the Evo Bats, which you guys already know, those are a challenge. Well, what's really good, the one thing I got going for me right now is he did decide to do that without him having his arrows in cycle. That might have been a very massive mistake. We probably can actually really capitalize off of that. That was definitely a mistake. He should not have done that, because he really needed to have his arrows in cycle for that Firecracker. So what I'm going to do is try to go for everything I can right now. He doesn't have his... Okay, he just messed up with that Fisherman. Oh, it killed it! That is really good. Yeah, he's doing the Shame Goblin. The last guy was doing the Shame Goblin, too. They know that they're screwing up. He gave me the good luck. I'm kind of surprised. Like, good luck. I don't know if he's salty or what, but, I mean, that was kind of on him. That sloppy defense there and going in for the recruits. So if he meant it in a toxic way, then that's kind of on you, buddy. I'm going to Earthquake that. And then, yep, he does have a balloon, so we're going to have to go for our Ice Spirit over there. And we are going to have to take a bit of damage from the balloon as well. But on the plus side, it is in the other lane, which, you know, didn't have as much damage dealt as the left before that balloon connected. So with only 20 seconds to go here, I'd say things are looking pretty solid, and we're probably going to walk away with a win here in a matchup that I would say isn't that easy. But because he made some mistakes, kind of helped us out a bit, and as a result, we are now going to get to 15 wins with Hog, Evo Knight, Evo Crackers. So I'd say pretty solid deck, especially going to be solid for the tournament for you if you are a cycle player. So I hope you guys enjoyed kind of the walkthrough. Decided to do a second time. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.